Hey boss, today I'm here to give you a little tour of the Bula Boss experience. I'm going to be walking you through the Bula Boss page here, so you can check out marinamars.com/Bula Boss at any time to see this page. Then I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, a little behind the scenes tour, so you can understand the environment that we hang out in and how we interact over time, and basically how this whole program works. So I want to start off by mentioning the reason I boast about increasing sales by 25% is because this is my lived experience. This is something I've helped multiple businesses do, and it's honestly my passion, especially in the non-alc space. And all of this being said, whether you are brand new, you could be in the discovery phase, you may not even be open with your brick and mortar yet, maybe you're an online business, maybe you're just more of like an online space worker where you want to be more of a content creator, an influencer, you want to connect people, you want to also be a consultant. No matter what, the Bula Boss container fits everybody inside of the non-alc space. You're going to hear me mention brick and mortar a lot here because I come from the brick and mortar experience, and that's my background, that's my specialty. So let's say, you want to invent a new part of the non-alc space, or you're doing something that is not in a brick and mortar. Well, at the end of the day, your business will interact with a brick and mortar. So this experience helps you understand not only how to run a brick and mortar, but how your potential revenue streams could be interacting with other people within the industry who have brick and mortars. So for example, if you're a CPG, you're creating an RTD, a canned beverage, a bottled beverage of some kind, and you want to sell it to any brick and mortar. Well, this is going to help you understand their side of things. And there are so many topics inside of this course that just apply to everyone. By course, I mean the program itself. Let's just start going through, right? So this is the exact toolkit and long-term executive support container that creates thriving non-alc brick and mortar establishments. Again, want to mention here that even if you're not in a brick and mortar, there's so much you can take from this, because brick and mortars have a lot of bills, right? You have to pay for rent, you have to pay for a lot of utilities, you're paying for quite a few different things. So if you can master the budget of a brick and mortar, you can master the budget of anything. So again, even if this isn't your main goal, but you want to interact and operate in the non-alc space, my opinion is that people who work in brick and mortars have something that is significantly more difficult to manage. There's a lot more going on when you're on location rather than in person. So again, a lot of these skills, even if you don't literally have the same type of inventory to take, or you don't have the same type of insurance policies, it all still falls under the same category because we're all dealing with fringe products. Fringe products meaning a lot of the ingredients that are inside of a lot of the things that we sell in this space, they're legal in some states and then illegal in others, or more restricted in others. There are different botanicals that payment processors will just kick you off of. Like, so for the record, if you're trying to start a business on Squarespace, we need to start over. I need to help you figure out what is the right payment processor for you, your state, your situation, what exactly you're selling, because these are the tiny little nuances that, again, I've dealt with many nightmares inside of the brick and mortar space to teach me all of the specific details that can help you no matter what side of the industry you're on. So again, mentioning this really is for everyone. As you will be able to see, this is just a lot of my background experience about how I am able to help you. But let's go ahead and look at this graphic real quick. Let me make my face a little bit more to the side for you. Okay, so everything you see here, culture and foundations, marketing and brand, service and products, mindset and longevity, functional business design, each of these main major topic umbrellas are modules inside of an online course that comes with this coaching. So number one, I'll give you a tour through that space, but that is all self-paced material that if you were to do it on a day-to-day basis, you could finish it in 12 weeks, but you get 52 weeks to complete it because there's a lot going into all of these topics. Some people like to learn everything right away and then take action. Other people like to just spoon feed, just have a little bit, take care of, for example, culture and foundations. We'll focus on that for 2 months. Then we'll move over to marketing and branding for 3. Whatever your style is, wherever you're at in the business, that's the cool part. This is the asynchronous part of the support where you can look at 40 plus lessons that are pre-recorded. Not only are these lessons pre-recorded, but they come with resources. Some have templates. There's a lot of different action items and tools inside of each of these toolkits. So my favorite way to visualize this whole program map for the online course portion is just imagine that it is a toolbox. It is a think tank and resource bank for you to go and grab any information you need, and then you can think about it, and then we'll talk about the live calls. So the whole process for that, we're going to see a little bit more below, but basically you get weekly access to me. I'm always here for you on top of this asynchronous online experience. Now, I want to stop and really focus on our goals for our clients here, making an impact, making a profit, and becoming lifestyle rich, because I'm not just here to teach you the easiest way to do everything. While yes, I am going to teach you a lot of business hacks that will make life a lot easier, a lot more optimized, automated, there are certain things that everybody's business needs to be different because we're all different people. We all have different needs and different lifestyle components that make us feel rich. So for example, I personally value freedom more than anything else. So to me, the fact that I can be very flexible with my schedule at a moment's notice, like tomorrow, I have a car appointment I have to go to at 8 in the morning. So we were able to easily, there's no one on call out of work or ask for nothing. We made our business set up in a way where we can go and be anywhere to operate, right? So for us, that part of the business design was incredibly important. Other people that we've worked with, they want to grow as quickly as possible. So we help them figure out how do they get other investors, other teammates, other partners to really go hard on getting everything done instantly. There are other people who they've got time, they've got things, they just don't want anyone else to have any ownership over them. So for example, that means that there are different funding paths if you don't want other people to, take control. There are so many processes that come into play, and this is something that's very different from business to business. So the reason we make these 3 goals for our clients is because it's not just about making 25% more in sales, right? We want to make sure that you're making an impact, you're helping people. The why behind your business is coming to fruition. And on top of that, you're not burnt out. You can go ahead and take an unplugged vacation. You can sleep at night. We want to be able to measure success in more than just your KPIs, because that's not realistic, especially in such a personal industry as non-alc. Most people don't end up here just because it's trendy. Most people have a really beautiful founding story, and we want to be able to admire, respect, and help you design your business around that, instead of, forgetting that and losing sight along the way, because that can happen when things start to get busy and you don't know what's going on and you're just trying to get all caught up, right? So what is fully included in this 12-month experience? Well, I mentioned that there is this 5-module course that covers 40 plus topics around the non-alc industry, and I want to mention that this is something that I am constantly adding to, so I'm sure in 6 months from now the number is going to be even more than 40, but the point of it is it's just the amount of tools that are in there. It's not that you have to finish everything in there to be great. Next, we have live executive support and group calls. So I'm going to show you 2 different packages. There's going to be like a light version and a mastermind version. So depending on your availability and your schedule, your budget, there's different levels of support from me. But regardless of which package you choose, there is a live component where we have live calls together. I give you this tally form, and you ask me any question that you want. You can even have you can even be like, okay, I'm going to just tell you this ridiculous story, and then you can tell me what I don't know. It doesn't always have to be a clear question, but the point of the story is there is this support where we come on to live calls and I answer those submissions and we have conversations about it. Next, if you cannot attend any of these calls live because it does not fit into your schedule, that's okay. There are recordings that are added inside of the group component so that you can view them at any point and you're all good to go. So even if you can't make it live, you're good. And that brings us to the Bula Boss group. So anyone else who is actively in the program at the same time, you will be in a group with them. And in that group, not only do you get to get the announcements, get resource drops, get all the recordings, but also if you want to reach out to your peers and you want to ask questions, you want to kind of have more of a think tank with people, a true mastermind where you're just reaching out and saying, hey, let's chat, let's support each other. How do you guys feel about this idea, that? Help me figure out A/B testing. Whatever you need, you have an environment. So this is much more than just an online course. But it does not stop there. So this is just a list of super fun skills that you're going to learn, but I want to mention here the Vault. So the Vault is our database of our top tool and appliance choices. This is something that I had a client request for $1,000, and after we'd created this, we were like, you know what? This is something that we constantly hear that so many people want to have, so what is a way that we can incorporate this into the group program? So this is actually a database for you guys where if you need to know what bartending tools you need to figure out, okay, what are the things I need to order so I can budget to even open the appropriate place? And let's say you already have something open, but you're like, oh man, Marina, I can't find the right tool. Well, I'm here for you, and this Vault, this database is constantly being added to. Next, let's talk about the lifetime access to the Bula Boss alumni group. So inside of that group is everybody who has been in the program, whether it's in the past or in the present, right? So inside of this Bula Boss alumni group, you can connect with everybody, but also I host monthly virtual happy hours. So this is a fun time to not only just show up and just industry chat. This is an after hours thing. This is not a coaching thing. It's more of a connecting, getting to know your industry. And then honestly, just learning more about cool, fun drinks, and we can skill swap and just learn, just relax with each other in a way that, you can't really do with your employees. They don't understand what it's like to be a business owner, 99% of the time. So very important to keep this in mind. So all of that being said, I want to chat with you. You can see, by the way, all of our lovely Bula Bosses that have had a great time with us, and we're always adding to that. But here is kind of the way that this works. So if you are doing a standard package, this is our light package, here's what you get. So, of course, you get access to all the Bula Boss online course material. You're in the Bula Boss group. You're in the network of fellow alumni. You get special discounts on any one-on-one consultations and services. So if you need my help with anything, even a done-for-you service, you do get a special discount being a Bula Boss. So it's a lot more like a membership in that way, which is really cool. You're also going to get the free all-access workshop pass. So this basically is every workshop I've ever done, ever. You just literally get to view them, and anytime there are new ones added, those recordings go there. So there's plenty of opportunities to continue learning even more than what's inside of the container. Additionally, if you are in the discovery phase, you do get access to the Discovery Phase Launchpad for free. Even if you're not in the discovery phase, this is helpful because let's say this is your 15th revenue stream you want to start. Okay, well, this gives you the framework. There's an entire workbook that goes with it. It gives you funding sources. It helps you kind of refine those ideas. So this is not just for newbie entrepreneurs. This is for anyone starting a new non-alc revenue stream. It's just especially helpful for people who are starting their business from scratch because that's how in-depth this process goes. So again, even if you're starting your 15th revenue stream here, it's super helpful. There's some things that you can probably glance through, but then there's other parts that will definitely be very pertinent to ensuring that you remain lifestyle rich. You don't add revenue streams that actually end up costing you. Yeah, they might give you more money, but are they going to give you more opportunity? Are they going to give you more impact? Is it going to take you away from your family time? We want to make sure everything is done in balance, and that is that tool. Next, of course, like I mentioned, you get that database of our top tools and appliances. That's called the Vault. And then we've got or the Armory, and then we've got the live executive support calls. So if you do the light version, you get 2 monthly calls, but of course you get to watch the recordings because those will pop up in the group. But as in, you have 2 monthly calls where you can show up, your questions will be answered, and then we can have a conversation. So that makes it very affordable. I mean, honestly, this is less than most electric bills nowadays. So that is that version of it. But let's talk about the mastermind. So the mastermind is exactly everything the same as the light version, except so much more. So if you join this one, you also get the Effortless Operations Self-Study Bundle. Effortless Operations is basically your entire Chief Operations Officer training. So if you are not comfortable or familiar with business operations, management systems, task management, project management, priority, like prioritization, HR, anything like that behind the scenes stuff, Effortless Operations teaches you how to be good at that. And it also teaches you how to actually implement the technology that we talk a lot about in Bula Boss. So on top of that, you get weekly calls with me. So not only are you receiving more tools, but you get more time with me. You get to ask me questions asynchronously, which means, yes, we have this one live call per week, but you can ask me questions Monday through Friday and I will respond to you, as opposed to the light version where I answer questions twice a month. Lastly, the most important thing, I think, is the fact that if you are in the mastermind, I'm going to actually review your SOPs, menus, marketing materials. You can submit things to me and I will do a hot seat call where I basically look through everything. We have a conversation about how to make it better. How do we strategize the launch of any of these processes? So it's not just about the materials, but the whole surrounding ecosystem. So again, this is the difference between the standard, the light package, and the mastermind. So as you can see up here, you can do a pay in full option, which does save you a nice little chunk there, almost a free month, more than a free month on this side. But all of that being said, I want to mention that like normal COO salaries are $100,000 at least to start. So this is a 95% discount to hire me in this capacity, but also I'm not your employee. I'm not receiving a W-2. This is a tax write-off, right? Because this is something that you're investing into your company. And all of that being said, I am not a legal person. I am not an accountant. I am a strategist, and I'm a specialist in the non-alc brick-and-mortar space, which means that anything that you need, I will help connect you to. So let's say that you do have a legal question, an insurance question, an accounting question, something that falls outside of my realm. I won't leave you hanging. I won't just say this is outside of my scope. I'll say this is outside of my scope, and here's the resource that can help connect you with your answer. So what if that resource is internal or external, you will get that link. So I'll never leave you hanging. You always get everything that you need. So again, let's just talk a little bit more about what each of these bonuses are so it like really makes sense to you. Again, Discovery Phase Launchpad. This is the one that comes with a workbook that is currently 137 pages. It comes with multiple templates. It has a business plan template, slide deck templates, market research templates, and databases that you can just copy and paste over. And it has an entire a line of questioning, if you will, to help you figure out what exactly it is that you need. Now, what is Effortless Operations? Great question. Thanks for asking. Let me go ahead and show you. So when I was mentioning that Chief Operations Officer training, this page, marinamars.com/effortless operations, shows you the full extent of this program. So I won't go through it here. Like, I just wanted to show you that this website is here so you can learn the full extent of what this bonus is all about. Again, normally this goes for $9.99. So the fact that we're here, it's pretty cool. And this is a 6-month process. So it's not just some short term, like this is a true support container to teach you how to be a chief operations officer of a non-alc brick and mortar. And granted, most of the lessons here can actually apply to multiple fields. That's just my specialty, so that's the example that I often use throughout this. But no matter where you're at, again, if you can master a brick and mortar, you can master anything in my eyes. I think that's the most difficult, but also the most rewarding. So all of that being said, let's go ahead and take a tour through the inside of Bula Boss so you can see what it really feels like to be in there. Okay, so this is a slightly edited view version because I didn't want to upset any client confidentiality here, so you'll only see my name twice. But this is the group that you would hang out in as a part of this program, whether you take the standard package or the mastermind. So as you'll see, there is a Q&A, like office hours submission form. So anytime you have questions, you just put it there, no matter which package you're in, and then I will answer them depending on which level you're in. You'll get invites to those happy hours. There's call recordings. Then you'll see I weekly on Mondays, I'm like, hey bosses, here's what your schedule's like. Here's the things. Anything that's happening at all will always show up in here. And we also have this fun option here where not only can you create a post, you can share videos, photos, but we also make sure everything is very organized. So let's say you're coming into the program and you're like, I'm just curious, I'm working on marketing. What have they talked about here? So if I click marketing topics, every time I've answered a question specifically about that, you see that all of these previous questions come up. So you can even read what it is before watching the video, and maybe that will be helpful to you. So point of that story is there are lessons upon lessons. It goes beyond just the 40 that are in the online course. Now that we mentioned the online course, let me walk you through that part. All right, so once you're inside here, you can see it looks very much like a normal course platform. So you've got all of your chapters over here. You can open them up, and then as you go through them, for example, then you can click complete step, and then it keeps track of where you're at. So as I go through, doop, 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 I read all the things, yay, and then boom. You'll see sometimes there are videos, me explaining how certain things work, links, additional resources below. So everything will help every learning style. I want to mention here how to measure success. I literally give you a to-do list, and I show you how this to-do list tool works. And I teach you, a lot about going at your own pace and figuring out how to make this program for you. So this is something that is consistently updated, and then there's always next steps. I always include so much to where no matter where you're at in the journey, I want to make sure that you're taken care of, but never confused. So again, everything is like, you can take the course in order. You don't have to. I'd say if you're new, I would take it in order just to soak it all in, because I did put it in an intentional order. But if you're not new and you are really just looking to dive deeper on specific topics, and certain topics give you more more inspiration than others, I want you to go through that, right? So this is what it's like on the inside. You can do this at your own pace. You have 52 weeks to get through it. And if you have any questions about anything, please make sure you reach out. Lastly, I'm just going to show you navigation on my website, marinamars.com. If you hover over the Modern Mocktail, you can visit. This is how you get to the Bula Boss page that we started on. If you want to learn more about the Discovery Phase Launchpad, it's here. If you want to learn more about effortless operations, it's here. Again, remember that Discovery Phase Launchpad is included inside of Bula Boss no matter what level you take it at. Effortless operations self-study is free and included if you sign up for the Bula Boss Mastermind. Down here you see groups. This is where you would go once you're in the program. That's how you view your group. And then also course and program portal. You click that to find the initial, once you're in, that's where you go and open up your Bula Boss course, your Discovery Phase Launchpad course, and your Effortless Operation courses. Because there's a lot of content within a lot of, it's basically you are taking multiple classes. Like if this was college, like this includes multiple classes, not just one online program, right? It's a true executive support container that includes me, but also you can do things at your own pace, right? Because we understand that everyone works differently. So if you have any questions about anything at all, please do not hesitate to reach out, hello@marinamars.com, sending this video in an email. Obviously, you can just reply to the email. But if you just go to marinamars.com/themodernmocktail, you will see everything listed out here that you can very easily click on and see, your basic descriptions of. Thank you guys so much for spending the time with me. I really appreciate it, and I really, really hope to see you inside of the program. I am very, very certain that anybody who is in the non-Alc space, like, I can help. I have helped so many people. I've worked so many different careers. And side note, if you want to know more about me, you can click the About tab, read on the 50 reasons to work with me, and then you can also see where I've been in my life. But I have worked so many different jobs. I shouldn't say so many different jobs, because a lot of them have been entrepreneurial, right? So it's me helping a lot of different businesses and different niches. I spent a lot of time in the circus traveling. I've worked in event production for years. I know how the alcohol industry works as well. So I understand how it is so different from the non-Alc experience. I host a podcast. You can learn more here. You can click all of the links. I'm also on YouTube as well. So if you want to really dive in and get to know me before you commit to a year-long process, I totally get it. Absolutely do that. Do the research on me. I would too. I did the same for my own coach. It took me a couple months to dive in. But I want to mention here that my biggest regret was not starting with her earlier, because I instantly found so much success. So don't be shy. Reach out if you have any questions. I'm absolutely here for you. And if you really are on the fence trying to figure out if this is right for you or not, go ahead and ask me for a free 15-minute strategy session, and we'll just have a quick chat about your goals, where you're at, what you've already got done, what do you need help with, what are your blind spots, and then I'll be able to say, yes, this is specifically the right resource for you. I would never sign you up for something additional that I don't think would help you. If you're not even if it's not even relevant to you, I'm not gonna take your money. That's not my goal, right? My goal is, yes, to be in business, and there's a lot to it, but my goal is to help as many non-Alc businesses as possible, because quite frankly, you're probably building the business that I want to hang out inside of. I'm very likely your target demographic. I'm literally obsessed with this industry, and I'm constantly doing research. So let me be your nerd. Let me be your think tank, so you can say, let me just ask my consultant, and she'll let me know, because I got your back. I really do.